You and Elton collaborated this year on a wonderful song that he first heard from your album called Chosen Family. Tell me a little bit about that song, what it means to you.
Well, my first album that came out last year was titled Sawayama, my family name, and I needed to write a song that finished that album. And it was the penultimate track, but in terms of the theme, it really, held it together because the whole thing is about me not really connecting to my family, me feeling lost, and then finding my chosen family. And the reason I wrote that was because I love my friends, but more than just friends, they are just family, but more importantly, they're my queer family. And I met them when I was at university, when I was very depressed. I was struggling with mental illness and some bullying at university as well. And so I really was about to drop out. But then I found my friends and I just remember that time. It was about, 10 years ago. But it just is so important to have that idea of family in your mind when things aren't going quite right with the family that you're born with.
Elton, what did you think when you first heard the song? Because you've been a big fan of Rina's album. You've been championing it since you first heard it.
It's just a beautiful song that encompasses everything I feel about gay people. And it's just, not only is it a beautiful lyric, but the melody is so great. And we became friends before we did the duet. And Rina's version was so great, and I played it on the radio show that I do. And then she said, well, let's do a duet. And I thought, I'd love to do that, but I don't know how, that's going to work out. So we went into the studio in London with no thoughts of how it would turn out. And I put a vocal on it and some piano.
Yeah. It's just the power of your vocals, and I need to step the game up.
And for me, it's one of the nicest things I've ever done.
It's hopeful and it's optimistic. And we surround ourselves with the people in life that give us the skills to cope, that give us the support that we need. And so many people are rejected by their biological families, particularly within queer communities. Coming out can be a very, very difficult thing. And there's a lot of rejection and marginalization involved with that. And it's the people that you surround yourself with that share the journey with you and accept you for who you are that really, give you the support and become like a family to you.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. And families can be very pro or very anti. I mean, my family, my mother and my stepfather were very, very easy with me coming out as a gay person and supported me. And yet, when I wanted to have my civil partnership, or when I was about to have my civil partnership, my mother was so against it, because it's officially admitting that you're gay. I mean, it was so upsetting. She kind of ruined my day, our day, rather, by her attitude. And, for all those years, I thought she was so supportive, and deep in the background, there was a mild homophobia going on within her. That because I was actually tying the knot with David and then getting married a few years later, she didn't approve of it at all. And that came as a big shock to me.
I'm so sorry to hear that. And thank you for sharing that story, because I think it's really, really important that everyone around the world is able to hear that even to incredible famous people like you, gay icons like you two, experience that kind of homophobia.
A form of rejection from your own family is a very, very hard thing to take. But that was more than compensated for by the friends who came on the day and supported us. And it was a wonderful, wonderful occasion.